What's up, Yins? This week on Car Dad Bill, we have a 2024 Lexus GX 550. This is the Overtrail Plus Edition. It is a beast. It is a luxurious beast, and I can't wait to tell you guys all about it and show you. Let's go for a ride. All right, Yins. First impressions of the Lexus GX 550 are off the charts. This thing is an amazing vehicle. I loved it as soon as it showed up. It's got all the looks of blending luxury and ruggedness together perfectly. It's just a smooth off-road vehicle is what it is. And so it has all the Lexus touches that you would think, and it has that aggressive appearance on the outside. I don't know how many times someone has stopped me and asked me what this was. Or they asked me, is that the new Lexus GX? Or they asked me, is that a Land Cruiser? Like, so many positive feedbacks on this. And of course, my wife loves it. She thinks it's the best looking, off-road looking vehicle out there, especially with the tire package we got on this one with the 18-inch wheels and the big tires. But I'm going up a twisty, bouncy hill, and it is just the suspension in this, that kinetic suspension that I was telling you about, is top end. I mean, it is premium plus. It drives like when you were a kid and you were playing with cars in the sand and you were driving over stuff. That's what this is. It's the real life version of that. It's like a luxurious dune buggy. It's fantastic. It has all of those things that you really want in a luxurious off-road vehicle. Like, you could take this thing camping and drive to your location in complete comfort and have so much capability because it has all the Toyota underpinnings that you would want for off-road driving. And just let's get to the real review. All right, Jins, outside the Lexus GX 550, and look at this thing. It is rugged elegance at its finest. I mean, look at the lines, look at the two-tone, the rugged wheel wells, the big tires, 18-inch wheels with the big aggressive tires. Look at the stance this thing has. The elegant Lexus front end with the headlights, the LED turn signals, the triple beam headlights, which are fire, absolutely fire. Fog lights, and you have turning signals, turning lights to go around corners in. Look at that front end, muscular, luxurious, all of the above. And that stance. Oh, this is one of my favorite vehicles that I've driven in a long time. There's a lot of quibbles with it, but look at the running board, rock guard, and then you have the roof rack up top as well. LEDs in the mirrors, black door handles, earth color, and then just the back end. Super elegant, super rugged, all at the same time. Let's go inside and talk about it. Yins, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps get cars like this dropped off, and I can bring them to you and give you a closer look at all this cool stuff coming out right now. I appreciate you guys watching. All right, guys, inside the Lexus GX, and a couple of the things that are really standoutish on this. The vents, the dashboard itself is set up very, very I said its name, so it thinks I'm talking to it. The dashboard itself is very flat and boxy, an army vehicle, and I'm okay with that. I really think the style inside here is really sharp. We have a speaker up top, we have a speaker next to the handle, a speaker there, and a speaker down there, subwoofer down there. Really good sound system with a two-tone paint, or the two-tone seats, leather seats, decent backspace. But up here, let's talk about this. So up here we have our charging area. We have our off-road four-wheel drive locking mechanisms. We have our gear selector. We have our drive mode selector, traction control tow, all that stuff's down here, crawl mode. Over here we have charging. Up here and there. And that's it. This area here, I feel like is a wasted space. There could have been something else there. I'm not sure exactly what. Maybe move the charging ports down here. Maybe another storage area for something down here. I don't know. Maybe a phone spot right there. But I feel like it's just a wasted space. Giant Lexus screen with the HVAC controls underneath. It's still in the screen, but it's dedicated. We have a dedicated volume button. We have dedicated defrosters, mirrors, the volume control, the four-way flashers, and then we have these sweet controls here that change inside the glass there. The glass is the same glass as the screen. Really sharp. I love it. The start stop button's up here, and it drives me crazy because I'm constantly hitting the camera button. When I get in the car and I reach for it, I reach down here all the time. It's up there. That's the first thing that's annoying. Second thing is that. Third thing, oddly enough, are these vents. These vents are controlled by this little doodad. And I don't know if you can see inside there, but this is the up and down. This is the side to side. And I just don't like how it doesn't give enough air. It doesn't put it where you want it, really. It's hard to like get it manipulated correctly to where you want it. I just don't like that design. I'd rather there be a knob or something else, or just a traditional vent. But I understand what they're doing, trying to make it classy. Lexus steering wheel with the paddle shifters, open bottom, clean, does well. Driver monitoring system, which is super annoying in all of these vehicles. Digital display up here that you can manipulate through the buttons here. Your headlight button over here, your headlight toggle, I have it set on so we can see all that stuff outside. Then we have our seat selectors. We have our trunk selectors, AC power back there. Another one of them goofy vents. This is actually a little bit better. You can see what I'm saying. Like it swivels up and down. It's just weird. Vent up here for the window. Then you have your heads-up display up there that shines on the screen or up on the windshield. You can see it right there. It's hard to see, but it's there. Sunroof. Really, really nice place to spend time. Heated steering wheel. All the luxurious elements that you want in a Lexus. Some storage. It's just really a nice, clean, luxurious / rugged interior. Let's jump in the back and take a look. Hopping in the back. Same design on the doors. We got this nice perforated leather here. We have the window shades that go up in the back. We have rugged floor mats, nice seats, really clean seats, static seat belt buckles, which is a plus. And then your latch system is underneath for your seats. Not a terrible amount of room back there. It's fairly spacious. It's very similar to the Land Cruiser that we had. Love these taillights. Underneath the X, opens up the trunk. There is a trailer hitch underneath that trim piece right here. There's a trailer hitch there. Then we have this spacious interior with the tonneau cover. Tonneau cover comes off, and we have a giant space. I mean, 4 bags of hockey equipment, baseball equipment, golf clubs, whatever you want. It all fits in there. It's really spacious. Big cabin in there. Really, really like it. Let's go for a ride. Let's talk about it. All right, Yins, let's talk about some stuff before we get on the road. 2024 Lexus GX550 Overtrail Plus. Color is earth. The interior is black. 3.4-liter V6 turbo, 349 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque, 10-speed automatic, full-time 4-wheel drive. 10-speed automatic, take it or leave it. The Turbo 6, though, 475 pound-feet of 479 pound-feet of torque. Wonderful. The Overtrail edition gets a couple accessories. It gets the crawling control. It gets the downhill assistance. It gets the electric kinetic dynamic suspension, which is phenomenal. The rock rails, the cooler box and the glove box here, and aggressive tires. It also has the roof rack, the roof rails. So it blends that luxury ruggedness very, very, very well. I love that about Lexus. And this one really, really shines. It's like it takes that Toyota off-roading capability and blends it with the Lexus perfectly to make this vehicle the way it is. Averages mile per gallon of 17. CDB real MPG, yes. 17.5, that's what we get. That's all over the place. I can't get any better than that. Even on the highway and cruise control, you got those aggressive tires. It's kind of a block on wheels. It is what it is. It's not high enough, and we'll go over that stuff in a little bit. As tested price of $82,900. Very expensive, but it's also a top-end luxury off-roading vehicle. And Lexus did a great job. Let's get on the road and talk about the good and the bad, because there are several of both. A lot of detail stuff that I was talking, like the vents and things I was telling you about earlier. Let's get out there and talk about it. All right, guys, out on the road, good and the bad. Let's start off with the good, okay? The style, right? The blend of luxury and off-road, like I said. The motor, the 479 pound-feet of torque. Is there any more I can say about that? It is just crazy fast, very, very smooth. It sounds good. The steering and the handling are the last two things. It is butter smooth. It is incredibly assisted, and it's just a joy to drive. I mean, the seats are comfortable. You have a great sound system. You're sitting up above everyone. And even with those rugged tires, it rides like a cloud. And the steering is so effortless and so direct. I can't say enough. You have to experience it for yourself. Let's get to the bad list, because there's a handful of just quibbles that I want to go over real quick. All right, guys, the bad list. The bad list is, and this is stuff you're going to laugh at, some of it, and some of it you're going to be like, oh, okay. Blinding headlights. That's good for us, the driver. That's good for the passenger. It's good for you driving along. It's bad for cars because they're lower than you. It's bad for people in front of you with their mirrors. It's bad for oncoming traffic in certain situations. The lights are just so bright and so intense and at the wrong level, if that makes any sense. It's just in people's eyes a lot. I actually turn my headlights off a few times in traffic and in drive-through lines and things like that, because you're just killing the person in front of you with these intense LED headlights. So while they're good for you driving around, they are bad for other people on the road. And it's noticeable in this one. Next thing is the start-stop button. We talked about that on the interior. It's in the wrong spot, and it's annoying. And, I mean, it's there. You see it, but you're always looking down at the bottom where the key usually goes. That's where the buttons usually are. Listen, every time I talk to you guys, if this thing beeps at me, it's one of those driver focus things. It's crazy. The vent controls are another thing that it's annoying, and they don't really work that well. I would rather have a different, style of vent control, but, quibble list. The empty control spot where the charging port is on the dash, again, they could have had some storage down there. They could have had the charging ports put somewhere else, a phone holder, something. Everyone's got a phone. Everyone's going to have a phone in here. I mean, I know if it's not charging, it's going to be doing something else, right? Like when mine's up on the windshield. But either way, that's like an empty spot down there where it could be other stuff. The MPG of 17, I mean, it is a big motor. It's turbo. I need like 20 miles to the gallon minimum. It's not that big of a vehicle. I think you could probably squeeze it out of it, but 17 miles per gallon, no matter what I do, is kind of low for what I was expecting. And lastly, my son noticed this. We crack the windows when we're driving a lot. We like to have fresh air in the vehicle, so we crack all the windows, put them halfway down, put them 3/4 of the way up, whatever. And as soon as we got in this vehicle, we were heading to hockey practice. He put down the window, and the window, it's laminated glass, it's acoustic glass, so it's quiet in here, and it's loud when the windows are open. But that heavy glass you think would have a little more rigidity to it. He rolled it down, and it's flapping in the thing. Like, it's just literally visibly flapping, and that is not Lexus level. I will tell you that straight up. Like, not expecting that, but it was noticeable. He was like, "Dad, look at this window," and I was like, "Oh yeah, you're right. Look at that thing." And it's just crazy. It was just added to my list because it's something I noticed while we were driving around for the week. Needless to say, this is Car Dad Bill this week. Real cars for real people for real life. I love this vehicle. I want one of these vehicles. It's too expensive, but this is ideally the best blend between luxury and off-road that you're going to find for the most part. And in an area like I live, where we have a lot of dirt roads, we have a lot of backcountry area, we have a lot of country roads, it snows here occasionally, we have the mixture of all the different stuff. This vehicle is ideally suited for this environment, and I love driving it. That's Car Dad Bill this week. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.